Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez. Now, tonight, we've got the latest from Gilas Pilipinas and the NBA free agency. But first, let's get to some VNL action.
Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Well, as the best men's volleyball teams in the world continue their week-long showdown here in Manila, we are joined by volleyball analyst, the real deal, Neil Flores, to break down the recent games. Neil, how are you doing?
I'm glad I got here on
Finally,
time.
here! Like last time he abandoned us for the Japanese national
Hindi
team.
na siya mangiinggit.
Oo.
Well, mangiinggit pa rin siya. In a way. Pero
That
live
is
na
true.
siyang mangiinggit.
That is true, that is true. So, we've seen a lot of great volleyball so far. So, let's kind of recap something we touched on just yesterday, actually. The game between Brazil and Italy, with Italy getting that upset in 4 frames. You know, you talk about the rankings, you talk about how sometimes it doesn't really matter, and the results are really unpredictable because of the high skill level of all of these athletes.
Yeah, there were a lot of people saying na it was an upset because Italy were sila yung underdogs.
Yeah.
But for me, if you take a look at their win-loss card in the VNL, hindi naman nalalayo right now. 6-3, they have the same slate. And when you take a look at the Italian roster, especially their first 6, they're a very tall team, and that's what they did. And they got a lot of soft touches from the attackers of Brazil. That's why they ended up winning that in 4 sets. Micheleto had a lot of attacks in Yuri Roman as well. They were the 1-2 punch that dealt the damage. On the other side, Bruno was actually trying to get their offense going, but the touches, the soft touches was just there for Italy. So it was very easy for them to get these killer.
Was the aces, Neil. They served so well. Did they serve so well,
Yeah.
or did Brazil receive badly yesterday?
They are heavy servers. You can see the jump servers, meron din float. So it's always a mix. And it gets confusing at times, even at the international level, because when you receive a jump serve, it's very different from a floater. So siguro hindi lang naka-adjust kaagad yung Brazil. That's why there were a lot of broken plays. And again, when you are faced with tall blockers like Italy, medyo didiskarte ka lang talaga. But it didn't happen for Brazil. But again, they're semi-safe in the standings to make it to the next round. But they cannot rest as they need to win tomorrow against Canada.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned the standings. So they're now tied at 6-3 apiece, and the only thing separating them is the point ratio. Just looking at the whole frame of things in terms of the standings and all of this, what did that game mean in general for the prospects for the next round?
Again, this is the final leg. So for the teams in the middle of the pack, wala pang sure na sure talaga. I think the sure team that would go to the next round would still be Japan, still undefeated, 100% batting average in all of the games. So for the rest of the teams right now, every game is a must-win. You don't want to be in that lower seeded ranking because at any point in time, pag nagkaroon ng upset sa ibang matches, you can find yourself out of contention.
Yeah.
You mentioned Japan. We'll talk about that in a bit because I want to bring out just one last issue about the Brazil-Italy game that a lot of the commentators were talking about, both local and international, where they were saying that jet lag might have played a factor for Brazil. What was your observation and what did you hear? Anong chismis around MOA yesterday?
Siguro track record, you also see this on social media, yung mga Brazil fans, they always say na pag jet lag yung Brazil, they don't play as well and they're not, hindi rin sila sanay sa change in temperature.
Our weather.
So
Good point.
There's a lot of factors that goes into it, but then again, you cannot question the talent of this Brazilian team. It may be a factor, but it's not a major factor.
Yeah.
I would
Pinag-usapan
say.
natin kahapon,
Yes,
di ba?
yes, we were.
That is part of the VNL
Yeah.
challenge in the traveling part
Yeah,
of it.
and everyone plays under the same conditions almost. So, again, we mentioned to talk about Japan. And before I ask the question about why does everyone love them so much, all right, let's just focus first on that Japan game against China, which was a thriller. Rankings-wise, it shouldn't have been close,
Yes.
but the game was.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. siguro a lot of people were expecting a 3-set match because of the dominance of Japan,
Right.
beating the European teams,
Right.
being 100% every single time. But the Chinese team also exchanged blows. And
Yeah.
what stood out for me for China was really their blocking.
Right,
The
17
Great
ba yun?
Wall of China
Was
was
17?
built
Yeah.
Was it? Right?
against the
17
Imperial
blocks.
team of
Wow.
Japan. Yes, 17 blocks. And kahit na sabihin natin Japan showcases a lot of crazy angles at some point.
Right.
When you are against a strong blocking team, makakakuha sila ng kill blocks. And that showed. But I guess the composure, the experience, the confidence that they had, the second wind, especially in the latter part of that game, was the changer for Japan.
I don't know about you, but I think Japan stuck to the script. You know, the fans were there, packed house. They got 5 full sets, come from behind, parang sinulat
Yeah.
para doon sa mga Japan fans. But okay, but they said in their post interviews, obviously they love the atmosphere, but it also got to them, Neil. They got a little nervous at
Yeah.
the start. Maybe all the support also has gotten to them, not in a bad way, but there is a little bit of pressure on them, right?
It is overwhelming because you can hear the chants of Nippon
Right.
resounding sa Mall of Asia Arena. But yung injection din ng mga second stringers papunta sa lineup. Kento
Yeah.
Miyaura
Yeah.
was really on fire in the 4th and 5th set. Konti lang yung time niya compared to the other players on the court, but I think he got 15 points. So that's a big contribution. And he got that final point in the 5th set of that back row attack.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because, again, the question still stands. Why do we love them so much? They are supported as if they were part of our national team. It feels like the support that they have right now, it's something that they have to mention. They're not used to, as referenced a while ago. But then do you see why we connect so much?
Siguro as a neighboring Asian country, yung pagiging undersized ng Japan really resonates with the Philippines because when you go up against the teams from the other continents, medyo you would think na parang David and Goliath yung nangyayari. But with Japan, no matter how tall the team is, they actually find a way to get through the block. They're not afraid in defending these hard hits. And yesterday, makikita natin may mga magic touches pa.
Yun eh.
Foot save, the
Yeah.
foot save
Yeah.
of Miyaura was incredible. So it's just really the athleticism also of
I
Japan.
agree. You know, so as part of their popularity is their trickery
Yes.
on court, which
Yeah.
Filipinos love. Quick touch on the game that happened today. Not surprised with the results, Netherlands
Yeah.
and Canada, Neil?
Yeah, Netherlands just showed why they're in the top 10. Nimir again, 20 plus points. Clater had also, I think, nasa 20. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, a game happening later on today is Poland versus Slovenia, and you can cash out on the Filipinas Live app, which you can download on the Google Play and the Apple Store. Subscriptions at 99 pesos per month, and you can catch the VNL, PBA, PVL, and so much more there as well. Neil, maraming salamat. Really appreciate you. We'll see you at the games,
See you at
and
the
we'll
games.
see you here on the game for more insights on
Thank you so
everything
much.
volleyball.
Thank you very much. In the meantime, after the break, we'll break down the latest moves and signings in the NBA free agency. Stay tuned. You're watching the game. Welcome back to the game. Now, since the start of the NBA free agency a few days ago, it's been a whirlwind of big moves and roster changes non-stop. And joining us to make sense of the madness is our resident sports Tito NBA hype host, Mikey Reyes. Parang wala akong karapatan tawagin
Kaya
ka Tito.
nga, eh.
Pero I only use it as a label, not an age reference.
Kaya lang na sinabi mo to make sense of it eh. Hopefully we can make sense of everything that's
To make
been happening.
nonsense of it.
Nonsense, sure.
Okay, no nonsense though. Ang LA Lakers in the offseason.
That's true.
A lot of people said that probably so far they're the winners of free agency. Your thoughts on the pickups and the re-signings of the Lakers?
Well, they didn't win the Kyrie Irving sweepstakes or the Damian Lillard one. Well, as of now, but I don't think so because they already signed D'Angelo Russell. But I saw a chart wherein they were saying that Rob Pelinka learned his lesson because they're going all young now. I think obviously it's LeBron, AD, but after those two, medyo doon na sila sa mga mas bata, and then those big moves, those...
You mean wala na yung mga Russell Westbrook?
Wala na yung mga
move,
Russell
yung mga
Westbrook,
ganon.
those guys. And I also saw they were talking about how when LeBron is in a good team, they play well. It was really just that first half of last season na medyo, Rob Pelinka tried something out, gambled on a roster that was, past their prime or whatever. But, now they're back on track, and I'm sure all the Laker fans are excited with these new signings.
Sino mabigat sa'yo in terms of the moves? Whether it's a re-signing or a new guy for the Lakers?
Well, obviously, si D'Angelo Russell, for me, he needs to. I'm a big D'Angelo Russell fan.
Oh, believer ka.
I'm a believer of D'Angelo Russell. Talagang naging absent
Are
lang
we
siya
not
against
surprised?
Nuggets. Tira ng tire! Tira ng tire! So,
Matches the
sa akin lang, I mean, when he clicks, I
Yeah.
believe that they can be a stronger team because it opens up the floor.
Let's see, baka they might trade him to Timberwolves again.
Gabe Vincent eh. May
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent as well, the finals
Yeah.
experience that he had. Medyo nasasaktan kasi ako na nabuwag yung Miami natin.
Okay, tama.
True. True.
Tama.
So we'll see.
Well, they also got Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, and Jackson Hayes, which is interesting because si Jackson Hayes was actually part of the whole Anthony Davis saga when he first moved to LA in the
right.
first place.
You're right.
So may konting history doon. But let's now move on to the move that has not happened yet, which is, or if we don't even know if it will happen in the end, Damian Lillard. A lot of people are saying that, mag-heat na siya.
Yeah.
They made it known that he wants to go to the Heat. The trade request has been made. You take a look at the potential packages. What should Portland get in return for a Damian Lillard?
Nawala yung mga pwede sanang isama dun sa package, di ba? They're talking about Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
They're talking about, I think, Caleb Martin is the other guy that in the picture. So these two guys,
Duncan Robinson.
Duncan
mga
Robinson.
I think, right?
I just don't feel like they're enough.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a Damian Lillard, you're talking about someone proven, and para sa akin din, you're making the Miami Heat a title contender if you trade, I think I'm speaking too soon, but a playoff contender, obviously, if you're putting in a Damian Lillard. And we can't base it off of last year, nag-finalist yung Heat. Because a piece like Damian Lillard, as big as that, it could mean a better season. But also, it could backfire kung medyo nagulo yung sistema nila. So, we'll find out. But it's the first time that Damian Lillard has spoken out na, I want to be traded. So, we'll see if his wish is granted.
Mikey, we're gonna ask you something here to not think of a player, but think like a tito. All right? So, as an executive, kung Portland ka, are you going to look for players that can help you win today? Or
No, I'm
accumulate ka ba ng assets?
I'm not. I'm going assets because I got Scoot. So basically, gusto mo na mag-build around Scoot Henderson and also, di ba, si Jeremy Grant, I believe they signed him too. So parang, obviously, if you get rid of Damian Lillard, you're not gonna win now. You're not gonna win now.
Okay, but you're only talking about the Heat.
Yeah.
There are other possibilities,
Marami pa.
including Paulo's team,
Yeah.
that parang pwedeng makisali.
Ayaw niya batiin eh, kaya ayaw niya pag-usapan eh.
even if Dane said he
Miami,
wanted
yeah.
Miami, Portland is going to look out for themselves. Is there any other team you think they can deal with? Or baka Miami nga would go through a third team even,
team,
probably.
yeah.
I'm going to list down names,
Sige,
teams
game.
and packages here for you to evaluate. Ito si Knicks, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Evan Fournier, and picks. Nets, Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas, Darren Sharp, and picks. Heat, na-mention na nga natin, Lowry, Hero, yung rookie nila si Juarez, and of course yung si Jazz, it's not gonna work. Pero Colin Sexton, Kalaunik, and picks.
You wanna see him in the Jazz, no?
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Jordan
I don't know.
Clarkson,
Panggulo lang daw.
Laurie-
Panggulo lang ako.
Laurie Markkinen. But you know what? I want to see him in the Knicks. Just because big market naman.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
with Damian Lillard's game and his status right now, I feel like he's at his peak. Some people say medyo bumaba na, but I still believe that he can be the second or even the first as long as he has pieces around him. And can you imagine him dropping 60s in Madison Square Garden? So para sa akin lang, it's also a great story for the NBA if you can put a superstar with the Knicks since Melo, di ba? Yung ganun status.
Okay, talk about another guard. Irving re-signing with the Mavs. That was a conversation in the offseason, whether he was a rental or not. Obviously, this is a win for Kyrie. This is what he wanted. He wanted the money. Is it a win for Dallas?
For me, it's not.
Hindi ba ako tapos magtanong? May sagot ka na dito eh.
Actually, doon pa lang nung araw pa lang na nabasa ko, pumirma ulit. I don't know. I don't know if they're trading him. I don't know if it's a sign and trade, but we have yet to find out. But if he will continue to play there, like what you said, he won the sweepstakes because he got his money. Grabe yung nakuha niya ngayon. But I don't know, it didn't work once. Tapos may kwento pa ngayon na si James Harden though.
Yeah.
They're trying to get James. That I can't imagine anymore. You cannot.
And we're entering a period dito sa Mavericks, in Mavericks history, that they have to start winning with Luka Doncic because they won't be able to keep him.
Wala na
forever.
yung okay to for the future. Di ba? May potential.
They have to win now. Another movement in terms of re-signing, Draymond Green resigning with the Warriors. It felt like a long saga, but they eventually got it done.
Well, for me, I'm happy. I'm happy because, you know, yung big three nila, I feel like meron pa eh. Because they just won the chip a year ago. So, I'm not throwing it na tapos na yung dynasty nila or tapos na yung time nila together. And they already got rid of Jordan Poole. When they got rid of Jordan Poole, I was like, you can't get rid of both.
Yeah.
So, there has to be something going on. Pero syempre, hindi naman pwedeng pag-usapan yung when he declined the player of.
Parang yun yung, it boiled down
It was
to me,
that.
na
It was
parang, so, they chose Draymond.
They chose.
It was a more dramatic Serge Ibaka or James Harden decision during that time.
Yeah, slightly more violent
Yeah.
also. Mikey, maraming salamat. Really appreciate you.
Always.
So after the break, we'll find out how Gilas Pilipinas fared in their first tune-up game in Lithuania. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Gilas Pilipinas played their first tune-up game in Kaunas, Lithuania as they took on the under-20 team of Ukraine. It was a chance for the Philippine squad to continue their improvements from Estonia and employ certain schemes that they have been practicing here. With Scotty Thompson sitting out again due to back issues and Chris Newsome not in uniform because of a bruised knee, Gilas only had one natural point guard in Kiefer Ravena.
Other than that, this team is very system-oriented. We know that the European style already. Just run your ball screens. For now, with Junmar, we're just white, okay? White iron. So we're blue on the side, white on the top. Okay, later on, we're going to, on call, we're going to go gold on call. So let's be ready for calls. Pero 45 tayo, we're still switching off Justin's ball screen.
There's only one shot.
Another step in our journey, gentlemen. Let's be better.
6 seconds to go.
Here we go, Laban Pilipinas!
The offense started out slow for the squad, 16-12. Ukraine had their best scoring quarter in the second, but the Gilas defense still held them under 20 points for a 33-31 halftime lead. Renz Abando then took over for Gilas in the second half, nailing important baskets to keep Gilas ahead. The high-flying Abando made back-to-back fast break baskets in the fourth quarter, being a dunk against two defenders to give the squad a 59-50 advantage. Kiefer Ravena would put the finishing touches in the game with a late triple, but it was Abando who led the team in scoring with 18 points en route to the 70-61 win. Gilas is scheduled to have an immediate rematch against the same Ukraine under-20 squad.
To be very honest, I was very pleased with how quickly we picked up the new things that we worked on yesterday in practice. But to be very honest, although we won this game, I still think that there were a lot of defensive lapses. And if I were to rate it, I think this is the worst game that we've played since the start. Well, I know this is the game that we won, but I thought there was a lot more to be desired. But of course, we came in without our top 2-point guards, so it was kind of understandable. And in fact, I asked the coach to have one of their players speak to our players tomorrow after the game, just to give us an idea of how it is for them, how it is for a country that's in war, how difficult it must be for them to still focus and concentrate to play this game that we all love. And you know, we're very appreciative. We're glad to be able to help them. We wish them the best of luck. But at the same time, we're also getting the benefit of the practice that we need. They're a tall team. They're very well disciplined. They're well coached. And again, when we get a chance to play this kind of competition, it's just going to make us better. Good job, guys. Good job. Here we go. Tama Pilipinas!
From Kaunas, Lithuania, Carlo Pamintuan.
And on that note, don't miss out on the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 with Signal Pay-Per-View.
Nothing beats watching the FIBA World Cup live and in person. Buy your single-day pass and get access to 2 live games of the FIBA Basketball World Cup for as low as 999 pesos. Enjoy this world-class game viewing experience for the entire family and witness the greatest basketball athletes in the world compete for as low as 999 pesos for 2 games. Head to philippines.worldcup.basketball for more information, ticket types, seat information, and other special offers. Be a part of Philippine basketball history and buy your tickets today.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paolo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.